Hi everyone, this is Jackie Chin. You know me and my show called Zombiepalooza Radio Live. Yeah, we are going to be doing a half-hour show that is a little bit on the different. We do every once in a while fundraisers and get the word out about either projects or different people who have things that are going on that need some more eyes on. So this evening we have an individual who is an amazingly prolific zombie writer, and y'all know I love me some zombies, and so we're going to be getting started. The author's name is Javan Bonds, and we also have with him Pheebz, and I don't remember your last name, Pheebz, but I'm sure when I bring you on, you'll be able to tell everybody who you are and exactly how you brought me into this project. All right, so welcome to show Javan and Pheebz. We are going to start with Pheebz because, well, that's where it started for me. So give me a little bit of background on exactly what's going on here.
Well, the Bonds family and a couple of us are putting together a fundraiser for Gavin to raise money for medical equipment, an overhead lift system, and things that they need for their new home. My last name is Jackson. So we're trying to put this together, and as we're going to be doing a raffle of authors have donated different items, and we're doing a raffle and an auction of items that the zombie community has donated. That will happen January 31st through February 2nd.
Very cool. And I know that there are a lot of people that are really, really excited to help Javan. There are a couple of really major things in his life that are going on that are kind of pushing the situation into a higher level where he needs to have some better equipment to be able to help get him to be able to be more mobile and or to be able to have the people be able to work with him a little bit more easily, also for his quality of life. So we're going to bring on Javan since we've been talking about you a little bit. So welcome to show, Javan Bonds.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
All right.
Okay. So let's go ahead. If on your end, Pheebz, go ahead and mute your setting. And so we'll have Javan here. And all right, Javan, so tell us a little bit about your background and what you do as an author.
Well, I started going blind. Actually, it's been about 10 years now. January 26, 2010 is when I first started noticing it. And I decided, well, I'm not really good at anything else, so I might as well start writing. So I actually started writing after I went blind, if you can believe it. I downloaded Dragon Natural Speaking, and it's a speech-to-type program.
Right.
And I started using that, and I kind of have a heavy Southern accent, so I had a little bit of trouble to start off with, but it finally understood me after a while.
How long did it take for it to be able to start processing your speech pattern? Because it is also a little bit difficult for you to be able to maybe pronounce some of the words that you wanted to and all of that. So how did you go about having it really start working for you?
Well, I've been using it, well, for about 10 years now, so it took me, I started writing my first book, Free Safe Dodge, actually in 2010, and we're open to republish the book in a few weeks, actually, because I read Free Safe Dodge and realized that oh my God, this is horribly edited. So I went back and pretty much rewrote the whole book. It's got the same story, but I rewrote the book and we're gonna publish it with the subtitle Blood Tyrant here in a few weeks.
Very cool. Who's your publisher? Who takes care of that end?
Well, my dad, pretty much. I'm independent.
Your dad rocks. He got you all set up. We had a little bit of issue with getting the Zoom and everything else, and I'm like, oh no! But your dad is amazing. He was able to get in there and fix it the way we needed it to. For your writing process, how do you go about figuring out what you're going to write about, and then how do you go about actually putting it together? Because a lot of it is a very visual process.
I do like the actual editing is my beta readers and a dad. He takes care of that.
All right, so writing is a very visual process. So a lot of times when you talk to an author, they'll say, well, I saw it in my head and then I started writing about it. For you, with the fact that your visual has been very much brought down, how do you go about the process? Is it still a very visual thing for you in your mind's eye, or is there something else you do?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of visual in that it runs like a movie in my head. I mean, because I haven't been blind forever, so I could see movies at one time. And it plays just like a movie. I can rewind it, fast forward, pause, whatever.
Do you think that your inability to be able to see is in any way a deterrent with how you go about writing, or do you think that maybe perhaps it helps you in some way?
Well, because I don't watch TV or movies or any of that stuff. Yeah, it probably because I can't see. I don't do anything with write pretty much. So besides promote on Facebook, but
Right, but that's not what I'm trying to get to. What I'm trying to get to is, like, say if you're writing about a scene and it is, for us who are going to be reading about it, it's a very, very much a visual process for us. And for us to be able to see what you're seeing or the way you want us to see it in the visual, is there something about it that either helps you with not having so many things around to look at and to maybe help you focus in more on the writing, or do you find that it is a deterrent?
oh well, I mean, I wish I could see. It's kind of a bummer not to be able to see, but yeah, when I think about it and when I think about a scene in my head, because I'm really, really graphic, horrible stuff.
Yes.
And I see it as I say it pretty much because I'm a pantser. I grab by the seat of my pants.
That's what we're trying to get at here.
Yeah.
So in your process of being a pantser, a lot of times authors will say, well, I had everything all clearly written out and I know exactly what I want to do and it's going to happen just like this. But even they come to a point where sometimes your characters will say, I'm not doing that, or hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you another idea that you didn't even think about to start off with. Do you, what do you do when you have situations like that?
Well, when I go in and start writing a scene, I have no idea. Well, I mean, I can have a general idea of where I want it to end, but I don't know how I'm gonna get there. So I start writing something, and I might not know what I'm gonna be doing to get to the end point.
How
But
many how many books do you have out so far? Now we see a lot of books on the back screen on this amazing green screen back here. But how many books do you think you have out so far?
I've got well,
There's a lot,
Free Save Dodge is kind of like canceled at the moment, so I have 6 books in the Still Alive series,
right?
and I'm about to release another book in another series. And book 7 is coming in Still Alive. I already
That's
got finished.
exciting. So do you only write in the apocalyptic genre, or do you write in different genres?
Well, my I don't write just zombies because Blood Tyrants is like a prepper book, apocalyptic, whatever. And I've been looking at writing other stuff, but I'm just focused on what I got.
Pheebz, you do a lot of work helping a lot of people out there get their projects known, and Javan is someone that is very, very important to you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your experience with Javan and why it is that you are so um, grounded into seeing this project on the 31st take flight and really do well for him?
First off, he's an excellent writer. Besides his own books, he also has stories in multiple anthologies. Undead World, I think, is one of them. They have like a trilogy in that. I met Gavin through some of the zombie groups, and I've read his books, and he just has this unique sense of humor that he brings to the genre that makes his characters different. Plus his PVs, which are the zombies in this case, they're still alive. They weren't dead and then brought back to life. So that in itself makes his stories stand out. Um, he's a genuinely nice guy. He is kind-hearted, and he does what he can for other authors. And I would like to see the community help him when he needs. And we do have quite a few top-notch authors
Yes, you
that
do.
have donated and that are helping to spread the word and sharing our flyers and such. So we hope to make this a reality for him to make his life better.
All right. The goal is to gather about $30,000 for much needed equipment and changes to a home that needs to have some accessibility changes made to it and things of that sort. So we have a list of people so far that are a part of this project. On January 31st to February 2nd, we have David Simon, G.L. Stevens, Courtney Constant, Scott Baker, Al White, DJ Cooper, Thomas A. Watson, Joseph Zuko, Sarah Lyons Fleming, Sue Oldman, Angel Raymond, okay, Raymond, and James Dean, Josh Shad, and M.A. Robbins, and James
Aquilian.
Abulian. Very cool. All right. So I recognize some of the names from previous interviews that I've had on the show. So the name of the project is, I can't read on the bottom. What does it say along the bottom? Apocalyptic Authors, something or other, whatever. Let me get my body out of the way. Maybe not that way. Maybe, I don't know. I'm still learning on here, you know. Which way? Stage right, stage left?
Authors have donated.
Oh, all right. I was looking for a name. So there should be.
We're calling it Team Gavin's fundraiser. So.
All right. So Team Gavin fundraiser. It is really, really important to be able to get the accessibility equipment for Javan. In Javan's picture, I'm going to see if I can bring up his picture a little bit more. Let's see if I can exit full screen speaker view. Let's see how that works. All right, let me get it. All right, that piece of equipment that is behind Javan allows him to be lifted. Now, Javan, is your dad around so we can talk to him a little bit?
Hey.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, Pheebz.
No, you're fine. I can hear.
All right, yeah, we're good. Okay. So yeah, go over to there you go. Maybe have Javan slide over just a little bit to the other way, or
There we go. How about that?
yeah, so that we can get you both on there. Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Now, does Javan's dad have a name?
I'm Randy.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so tell us a little bit about the equipment that we saw in the background before I brought you over here, and then also give us more insight into what needs to be done for his betterment of a daily life.
Well, the equipment is it's a lift system that's actually on a track. You probably see almost like in the hospitals, and it runs like from his bed through the shower and into the toilet area. It makes it easy to transfer. It has a lift. It's a battery powered, but it lifts him out of the bed into the chair. Saves us, because we're not young anymore, to lift him in and out of bed and into the shower. Makes it easier to transfer back and forth, and they're not cheap. Like I say, they're very expensive, and we use a small device now that's hooked to a roller in here, where we're living temporarily, and we're living in a garage at the site where the house is being built, and we need that to finish in the part of the house when we get it finished. So, but it'll help us and Javan being able to get around a little bit more, so that we won't have any problems in the future, because it'll make it just more convenient. And ramps, we got to have a ramp out of the house, and we actually installed a storm shelter in the house, so we had to put it up off the ground a good piece. So we got to have a pretty good sized ramp to get out of the house.
Okay, so I have a picture of the house, but it doesn't really give me like a full parameter of.
Well, it's because it sits in the woods, so it's kind of hard to get far enough away from it to take a picture of it. We're kind of in an undisclosed location to safe away from the zombies. So
that's good too, though. You know, this past couple of days, I might have thought maybe we needed something like that for reals. But I'm glad that you are in that kind of a position to be able to do this. But also, since you're so far into the woods, it does cause other situations that wouldn't normally happen, like say city dwelling kind of area. So like with everything being paved and all of that, so it makes it easier.
Well, we have a large front porch that Javan can access and get out on, so he can enjoy some sunshine. Okay, you can't see much, but just some fresh air and get out and enjoy the sunshine. So he doesn't look like a hermit, which he usually does. He doesn't get a lot of sunshine.
I don't mind that too much. You know, we vampires, we kind of sort of like, to stay inside too. All right. So what about this project that is coming up on the 31st for Javan? What about this project do you want to say to the people that are working to be able to help get this off the ground for him and be able to make it happen for everybody?
it's just such a blessing for people that have come up and helped. I mean, it's to give of their time and to donate the books and the different packages. We're just we're overwhelmed with the charity that people and the caring. I mean, Pheebz is an amazing person. She just nobody asked her to do this, but
she's a powerhouse.
It's on herself, and we can't thank her enough.
Well, thank you.
All right.
The whole family is genuinely kind, and they've helped the community along, through the years along the way, and this is our way of giving it back to them.
All right, so what I need is some more information, I guess, on the things that are going to be happening between the 31st and the February 2nd, and also if there are any other things that are going on, like any raffles or donations or any of that outside of that project. So Pheebz, you're on deck to let us know what's going on.
Okay, there has been a few fundraisers in the past months. Javan actually started his GoFundMe page back in June. It kind of stalled out. We didn't have the publicity, and we weren't able to get the message out there as well. Various authors, David A. Simpson, he was one. His fan group had just done an auction last month, I believe, or maybe in November, to help raise money. So there's little pockets of various zombie groups in the zombie community, and it's not just zombie community, it's the dystrophin, post-apocalyptic, zombie genre, and horror that are all trying to come together and do this.
Yes, I don't know, right? The power of the apocalyptic horror genre. People a lot of times they look at that stuff and think, oh, what do they do? And they're just, they make shit up. They like to see things blow up. They like to see blood and gore and all of that. What we most like to see is people with a smile on their face and to be happy about what we can do for them to be able to take them out of sometimes some very serious things that are going on in their life, and allow them, like with books that Javan has, to be able to have that bit of relief. So this is a big deal, and I have never in my life seen a community more glued into going and helping people when they need help the most. So, all right. So, talk to us about how much you're trying to raise, and what kind of steps are going to happen once the money starts to come in.
Some people have, through the various different fundraisers that's already been held, has donated directly to the GoFundMe page. What this one is going to be is we're collecting donations, home goods, books, swag packages, and that from other authors in the community. We're taking homemade donations from the readers and the fans of the various authors, and we will be auctioning those off the 31st through the 2nd. But we'll also have they can also buy raffle tickets for smaller items that we're just going to raffle off through that time. And then, or they can just donate directly to the GoFundMe page or through PayPal.
Give me the links, the social media links and all of that fun stuff. You got that on hand?
I can. Let's see. I'm going to go to the page here. Okay, the event page is Javan Bonds Accessibility Room, and the link is facebook.com/group/4601693436. But if you type in by the little F on your Facebook page and just put event page for Javan Bonds Accessibility Room, or just Javan Bonds, it should come up. So that's the event page. That's where the auction will actually be taking place.
I'm going to get out of, I put his books up on the big screen. I'm going to get out of the way so people can see how to spell it or spell it or whatever over there.
Okay. And then the email addresses or the addresses for the GoFundMe is https://www.gofundme.com f/handicap room for Javan. So that's the GoFundMe page. And then the PayPal, you can make it payable to the email at javanbonds@gmail.com.
Very cool. All right, so we're going to put the focus back on Javan because this is all about you right now. Is there anything that you would like to say to anyone who is either currently helping you or for anything out there you want to talk to your fans and say something to your fans directly about buying all your stuff?
Well, thanks. I wouldn't, I didn't plan to get anything. I didn't plan to have a GoFundMe and, or an auction or any of this. And it's all possible because of Pheebz, really.
Well, it's possible because you have stuff to be able to put out there. So, you know, Pheebz is cool, but, you know, you're kind of cool too because, you know, you have been in the writing community for many, many years and you are well liked. And that just goes to show that your character is amazing. And, you know, people will stop what they're doing and go out there and be able to help you. That in itself says a lot about who you are.
Oh, thanks.
You're very welcome. All right, let me go ahead and get your dad back. And I want to get him to have a final couple of words in there. And so go ahead and.
One more thing though, it's not just me. Katie Zuko, Joe, the author, Joe Zuko's wife, is also, you know, she's my partner in crime in this endeavor. So there's two of us.
That's wonderful. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that everybody who is helping with this project gets named, and I'll put all that stuff together once I get this thing loaded up. All right, so we're gonna give the final word to Javan's father regarding this project and anything else that he would like to say before we sign off.
It's like I say, it's just hard to come up with words to thank everybody for what they're doing. And like I say, Javan doesn't like to toot his own horn as much as he acts like he does. What he does is amazing. People don't see him right, and it's a struggle. But he every day he gets out here and he writes. He sits here and writes every day, sometimes 14 hours a day, and he's on Facebook and he's talking to people and he's meeting people, like I say, and like Pheebz said, Javan promotes other authors. I mean, he always, the community is something he loves to promote, and for the community to pay him back is just amazing, and to give back to him, and he'll continue to give back to the community, you know, as hard as he can. He just keep growing because it helps us all. You know, it helps all the zombie writers and the post-apocalyptic writers. It just, you know, and like I say, and like you said, the community is really good about giving to people and helping. I mean, it's a close-knit group. And when somebody needs something, they reach out and do what they can and dig deep and help people. And we just thank everybody for doing what they can. So.
All right. So you've heard everyone here say what they have to say about this project. We are going to do as much as we can up until February 2nd to be able to get the word out as much as we possibly can with regard to what the authors back here are doing. Plus, maybe we might be able to get some more people to come in on board. We appreciate everyone that is in the apocalyptic community. This is Jackie Chin, and you've been listening to Zombiepalooza Radio Live. Good night, folks. Okay, let's see.